I'm here with Kobe. I'm making our first YouTube recipe video. And today what we're going to be making is cookies that are supposed to be safe for diabetic dogs. So, we're going to do a disclaimer right away. We are not vets. We are not medical professionals in any way or dog professionals. But we had a lot of people on TikTok ask for a recipe for their diabetic dogs. And so we did our best to do some research. And we went online and we found some stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the ingredients we have and how they're supposed to be good for diabetic dogs. And I'll say what website I found that information on as well. Okay, so the first thing we've got is oats. So we're going to be using oats to make oat flour. And oats are high in fiber, which is supposed to slow down digestion and keep blood sugar balanced. All right, next we've got pumpkin. So we used canned pumpkin here. It's 100% pure canned pumpkin, no added sugar, okay? And this is supposed to increase insulin and decrease blood sugar, all right? And I got that off of vetnutrition.tufts.edu, all right? The next one is carrots, and carrots are also supposed to be good for digestion. There are some studies out there that say that they could prevent diabetes. Apparently there was a study by University of Minnesota, but they're supposed to be good for digestion in general. Coconut flour also helps to regulate blood sugar levels, and that's from the type2diabetesguide.com. And then cinnamon is supposed to increase metabolism, which helps keep blood sugar under control. And I got that from dogster.com. All right, so we're gonna make some cookies using those ingredients, and I've got my assistant here, Kobe, and his adorable little apron, and we're gonna see what we can make out of this. Okay, so first we're gonna start off by grating some carrots. Kobe loves carrots as a snack too. Go, buddy. All right, usually would have much larger carrots because it's way easier to grate, but all I have in the house right now is baby carrots, and I'm just gonna use it. It's gonna be quite time consuming, so I'm not gonna make you watch me grate all of these. Okay, but I'll just do a few and then I'll flash forward. Okay, so I cut out the shredding because it took forever. I do highly suggest please do not use baby carrots. It took forever. So I've got about half a cup of grated carrots here now, so I'm just gonna put them in my bowl. The next thing I'm gonna add is my pumpkin. So I'm going for about 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin here. All right, so there's my half cup. I'm gonna add that in. 1/4 cup. So this is what it looks like so far. Okay, I think Kobe deserves a taste test at this point. Good boy, he's been waiting so patiently. You mean so good, buddy. I've been keeping him happy with his kibble. He gets kibble every couple minutes. Okay, I'm adding 1/4 cup of applesauce right now to act as a sort of binder for our recipe so that our ingredients stick together a little bit better. Okay, you could also use an egg. This is unsweetened applesauce. I'm not trying to give Kobe any added sugar. So now I'm gonna add just a teaspoon of cinnamon. All right. There we go. So now's the time that we're gonna add our flours. All right, so I have both coconut flour and I'm gonna use some oats to make an oat flour. The reason I'm using 2 different flours is because the research that I saw online said that coconut flour is good for dogs with diabetes, but still only in small amounts. A lot of coconut flour is too much for dogs. Coconuts have a lot of fat in them, so you don't want too much, but just a little bit is good for them. So I'm gonna start with 1/2 cup of coconut flour, and then from there, I'm gonna add oat flour until I get the consistency that I'm looking for. Okay, so here's our coconut flour here, and I'm just gonna do 1/2 cup of that. Leveled off nicely. Kobe, why aren't you looking, bud? Hey, he's chewing on his apron. No chewing on your apron. Okay, so we're doing 1/2 cup of coconut flour now. There it goes. And I'm just gonna mix that in, see how far it gets us. So now we're gonna make our own oat flour. All right, I'm just using pretty much any oats that you can find at the store. I usually do. So I don't know how much I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna use 2 cups of oats right now, and I'm going to be blending them. it's gonna be way too much for me, but I'm just gonna save some after. So we'll see how much actual oat flour we need in the recipe. Kobe, relax. Hey, sit. Good boy. So I'm just gonna make 2 cups so that I have a little bit of extra oat flour at the end. And you can see what works for you. All right, so we're just gonna blend until it makes the flour. Good boy. Good boy. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we've got a bit of a flour consistency here. So I put in 2 cups of oats. It should make a little under 2 cups of flour. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm gonna start adding flour to my recipe at like ½ a cup increments until I get a cookie consistency. And we'll see how much it takes. This is my first time making this. I kind of just made this recipe up from the ingredients I saw on a website saying that they were good for diabetic dogs. All right, so I'm gonna start with ½ a cup. I'm gonna mix it with my hands. I like the way it mixes with my hands. I feel like I can feel how the dough's doing. Hello, excuse me. You sit down. Okay, so my ½ a cup, this is what my dough looks like right now. It's way too wet. It's sticking to me like crazy. So I'm gonna add another ½ a cup, another ½ cup here. I'm gonna mix again. My guess when I made this recipe was that I would need 1½ cups of oat flour. And excuse you, hello. Sit. Oh, that was your own fault. Get back up there. There you go. Sit down. You are such a brat. Okay, we're getting pretty close. It's sticking together, but it's super, super, super wet. So I'm gonna do one more ½ a cup of oat flour, and I think that's gonna be perfect. So that's another ½ cup of oat flour there. Okay, this is looking closer to what we were looking for. No, excuse you, off. No. Just gonna see if I can kind of knead together what I've got here. Oof, my sleeves. And turn this into a dough. All right, that's looking a little better. I've got a nice little dough here now. And I'm gonna try and roll it out, all right? So I'll sprinkle a little bit here, and I'll sprinkle a little bit on the rolling pin. So it doesn't stick. No. You're not gonna be invited up here anymore if you're gonna be like this. Stay. Hey, excuse you, sit. All right, I'm gonna use these little baby doggy bones. Okay, I just got finished cutting out cookies for my second tray. So I put on a timer for 12 minutes. I usually do anywhere between like 12 and 18 minutes for our cookies. It depends on a lot of things. I like mine softer because they're easier to break apart and they make less crumbs because I always break them into pieces for training and stuff for Kobe. So I usually go on the low end. Also, these cookie cutters that I used were smaller than average, so I don't want them to get too hard. So it depends on your cookie cutter size, how soft or hard you want them, and how thick you roll your dough. And I roll mine kind of thin too. So we kept it at 12 minutes, and we're just gonna check on them at that time, and if they're not hard enough for me, I'll just put them in for a few more minutes. Bang. Yes, good boy. Good boy. You're so good. So if you liked that recipe, please like, subscribe. If you use it for your pups and they really like it, please comment. We love to hear from people. Subscribe to our channel. We put out new recipes every Sunday. All right, say bye, buddy.